So actually, this is a much clearer case of a two for me.
Yes,
Than the organization and purpose. What I had found is that this person does have evidence from their sources. However, they only actually state second source once, and then we only see quotations.
Right, so the references are vague. I agree. I also really like the weakly integrated phrase. I thought this is a really good exemplar of what weakly integrated looks like, because a lot of the evidence is just thrown in with no introduction, no anything to make it relevant.
I feel like the intentions were really good when they began, but I'm starting to see as she got towards the end of her essay, it's almost as if she put random quotes in on her summaries. So she's not actually quoting the source, but was quoting the idea from the source.
Yes. I put uneven use of elaborative techniques because there were a couple times where she actually elaborated, but most of it was just dumping. And then vocabulary I thought was appropriate. That was the highest thing for me, the highest point for me, but then I don't think there was really an attempt to create a style. It was just sort of
And I didn't score her quite as well on vocabulary. So it's interesting to look at that because I agree with you. I think that generally it's appropriate for the audience and the purpose. So I see where you got that. I was thinking of it more as there was no elaboration in her vocabulary, that it was very basic. And
there was nothing sophisticated.
There was nothing sophisticated, but if we're looking just for adequate, I can actually see that for the audience and purpose it would work. I struggle with this because my initial thought is a 1, but when I go back into it, I really think she's got adequate use of sentence formation, punctuation, capitalization, and grammar, and spelling.
Capitalization for me was a problem in the quotations. She wasn't capitalizing.
She
the
didn't
beginning of
quote
quotes.
correctly, I agree.
I think punctuation, capitalization were my biggest problems.
When she quoted, but otherwise she seemed to have it. But now that you're saying that, it was difficult to tell. She end quoted everything, so you couldn't actually see if it was the beginning of a quote or the end of a quote, and it threw me off a lot. I'm like, wait a minute, what is she doing here?
That's a punctuation issue for
Yep.
sure. So the question is, do we have a range of errors? Sentence formation is good.
Yes.
Punctuation, capitalization.
I struggle with the punctuation part. I think it's more of a 1 than a 2.
And spelling, because there are a variety of errors, so I think it is a 1.